This video is for all you natural nail folks out there who haven't started using stamping gel yet, because hopefully you already know how risky it is to let wet, uncured gel come in contact with your skin. With stamping gels being such a brilliant product for so many reasons, I really want to demonstrate a safer way for those of you applying it to your natural nails instead of press-ons. Today I'm using one of the new Mithmillo stamping plates, along with this gorgeous neon blue perfect stamping gel that they have. I work exclusively with press-ons, but for this particular video, I'll be using this silicone hand to demonstrate why using gels for stamping on natural nails would be risky and how we can avoid that. I'd love to hear from those of you who have been holding off on stamping gels for this very reason, so don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. So let's start out by talking about the ways that working with stamping gels will be the same or different than typical stamping polish. So first thing off the bat, we're not using a brush. We're going to go in with a silicone tool. Anything, similar, that'll do the trick. And simply because a brush is going to probably soak up some of that polish and it'll be a bit of a waste. It'll be harder to kind of get in the grooves, and your silicone tool is going to work much better for this. Like usual, we go in with a scraper and pretty much 45-degree angle, same as you would do with a typical stamping polish. You'll notice there's way less waste happening here, which is one of the most ideal things about working with gel, because rushing is not part of the deal. You don't have to slap that polish down as fast as you can and get through all of the steps before it dries out. So you can be a lot cleaner and a lot less wasteful with your products. The next difference is going to be our pickup. So rather than a lacquer stamping polish where you're very lightly pressing and lifting and flicking up as quickly as possible, this one you're going to want to go slow and steady. So you're still doing the same sort of rocking type motion, but you're going down, you're pressing a little firmer, and you're very slowly lifting the release until you get to the end. And look at that gorgeous, brilliant, beautiful transfer. It is so heavily pigmented. It's got a perfect, clean, and detailed pickup. You just couldn't ask for anything better. And then, of course, that no need to rush timing extends to our placement as well. Here we have some excess on the stamper, and I can go around and clean that off without worrying about timing. If it's not coming up easily, I can go in with a sticky sheet instead of my scraper here and just use that to lift it. But that did just well on its own. And again, we're not rushing, we're not panicking. We could go in and stamp this quite casually. And for those of you working on natural nails and saying, well, look at, I get my image, and if I go and put it down carefully in an image such as this, I'm going to be really careful and I'm not going to touch the skin. And that's well and valid. You could very likely go ahead and do that. And there we go. So I've put down an image. It's on my nail. I didn't really touch the skin. There's my beautiful image. I worked with stamping gel and I kept it clean and off the nail. So that's lovely and that's quite safe, and you can be quite happy with that. Now, the trick therein lies when you decide that you want to do a full image, something that overlaps the entire surface, because then things start getting a little bit trickier. Of course, one of the other beautiful qualities of working with the stamping gel is color mixing. Unlike a lacquer polish where you can kind of smear them together real quickly if you decide to, with this type of a gel, you can actually mix your own colors. So I can take this neon and I can blend it out with some white and end up with a really beautiful lightened pastel blue color. Now, if I'm going to want to work with an image like this, I'm going to have to adapt a very different approach. Now, if I were to decide that I wanted this lovely pastel baby blue all over my nail, and I went in to do this stamp, press down, I've got my lovely image there, but look at what's happened. All of this skin has got wet product uncure product on it that is now posing a health risk. And that's just not something that you want to take a chance with. It's not worth it. Now, some people will say, put down liquid latex or cuticle protector or anything like that, but very often the chemicals can still get through that. So, alternatively, we're going to do this a different way. I'm not going to go in with the baby blue again, just so I don't have to mix up another batch. So I am going to clear off my plate this time, but typically if I'm going back in with the same color again, there is no need to clean that plate. You just go straight back in and reload your polish. No problem, because nothing has dried in there to cause an issue. As for getting your uncured product off of your stamper, I simply use a piece of paper. Doesn't need to be sticky because the polish already is. But if I do have any kind of leftovers on my stamper head that I don't like, I will go in and roll it on a sticky pad. And that will typically clean off anything else that shouldn't be there. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna go in and roll my image, nice and steady, clean lift off, and there we go. And so now this time, before going in and stamping a wet product all over my fingers and causing a safety risk, I am going to take my stamper and I'm gonna put it in the lamp. I'm gonna cure it with this product on there and it'll be just fine. And while that stamp is curing, I'm gonna go in with my Jinbei Ivy Gum Gel or any sort of a transfer foil gel that you might have, anything that's going to cure and leave behind a sticky layer for you. So this Jinbei Gum Gel is used for doing things that you need that sticky tacky layer, like transfer foils or gem placement or different things like that. So any sticky layer is going to work quite well for you. And I'm just going to cure that before pulling out my stamp. So while that product is doing a quick 20-second cure, which is all that it needs, here is my stamp. And as you can see, it's no longer a wet product. This has been fully cured and is completely dry on my stamper head now. My nail has come out of the light and it's got this tacky layer on it now. And so now I can go in with my stamp and I can safely apply that to the nail and it's going to stick wherever that transfer foil gel is. Lift off very carefully, gently, and you can see it has been left behind on the nail. First, I like to go in with a cuticle pusher and kind of cement that in really well, and that might help with cutting it a bit as well. You could use silicone tool, make sure that you push those edges in really well. Basically anything that's going to work for you that's going to stick it really well to the edge of the nail and separate it from the overhang. At this point, I treat it basically like I would any type of a water decal. And so however you go about dealing with your leftover, that's what you would do with this. So you could go in with your scissors and trim the excess off if that's what's comfortable for you. Or it will work as well if you go in with some acetone and you just use that to kind of cut in. So for me, once I've kind of cut into it a little bit with my cuticle pusher or my silicone tool and I've rubbed it down nice and tight, I can go in with kind of a sharper brush and just brush away at some of that edges. Again, just basically treating it like you would any kind of a water decal type deal. Because essentially what we did was make a decal. And then one little tip to avoid ripping anything that might be on your nail is before going and pulling off that outer layer that's no good, I would recommend going in with a base gel first to help lock in and secure that stamp. And it will prevent any lifting on the edges in case any of these pieces are slightly attached still, and it lifts it up when you go to remove the excess outer layer. This way there won't be any mistakes. You won't accidentally tear any of the image back. Now going in with your top coat, and voila, just like that, you turned your stamping image into a perfectly safe decal that you could use on your nail. And while I didn't manage to figure out how to flawlessly adapt this for isolated chrome, I can show you a somewhat clunky idea that will work in a pinch. Let me first just say thanks so much for watching, and to Sweetie Nail Supply for sending me out these truly perfect stamping gel products to try. I'll be sure to include their links in the description, and don't forget to use my code LYN to help support my channel and save yourself some money at the same time. So as I said, there's no need to clean the plate after using it. You can just layer that right back on again over top, and it'll work just as well as it did the first time. Heck, you can even save blob that you end up scraping off and very easily just go and press it back in to the image, I found. So you get multiple uses out of one scrape, that's for sure. So we're gonna go along and pick up our image just like before. And this time, I'm just gonna put it in for a super quick flash cure, somewhere around 15-20 seconds. Now the difference this time, before doing any stamping, is I'm gonna go in with a really thin matte top coat. And ideally you wanna find this thinnest one that you can. I've got quite a few, and this Madame Glam matte top has been about the thinnest one that I have to work with. And you want to just go over the image and around it, and putting on as thin of a coat as possible. Okay, so we can see that my image has been covered, as well as a little bit of excess around it. And I'm gonna put that in now to cure. Same as last time. While that's curing, I'm gonna go in with my transfer foil gel, my sticky layer, whatever that happens to be. And I'm gonna put that down onto my natural nail. Now for my chrome, I am going to load up my chrome sponge. I'm going in with the smaller side to hopefully pinpoint it just a little bit better. Now that I have my nail with my tacky surface, just like before, I'm going to go in with my stamp, but you'll notice that this time it's got that matte surface all around it, and you can see it puckering a bit because it's a big square piece and it's trying to pull in tighter. Laying it down. And again, we're already cured, so there's no concern about it touching the nail. I fully cured it. I'm gonna lay it down and gently lift it off. And there you can see it has created a decal over the nail. Now this one is not going to stick quite as well as it did before, and that's because the matte surface underneath doesn't stick as well as the stamping image itself. And this is where it gets a little bit clunky. So once again, you're going in with a cuticle pusher or scissors to cut it like a decal, whatever is going to work best for you. And you're basically trimming off that excess, because essentially what we did was create a sticker. And this is going to be a little tedious and finicky, so it might not be worth it to you, but it depends on how important it is for you to be able to do an isolated chrome. So now that I have removed the majority of that excess, I should be able to go in with my chrome, and if it works right, it's going to chrome our image, but not the background, and it's going to isolate that. There you can see we have success. Our image is chromed, but our white background is not. So let me clean this up a little better and get the top coat on so you can see it. And I'm just gonna go around with my silicone tool and make sure that my edges are nice and flush. You can see we have a little bit of lifting here, just like we might with a decal. And so I go in with my base gel to secure it down. Again, we're treating this as though it was a water decal. And with your base being secured, you can go in and do any cleanup that you might need to on your edges before going in with your final top coat. So while your isolated chrome this way is going to be finicky and not necessarily the most ideal process, it is going to work. So you actually can do isolated chrome like that as well. So I gotta say, as someone with a severe heme allergy brought on by improper training and product handling, I try my best to spread awareness, and I genuinely recommend anyone who isn't professionally trained to stick to press-ons. They're a much safer option and just as beautiful without all the risks. The consequences brought on by these chemical allergies go far beyond just gel polish or beauty products, and they can affect medical situations for the rest of your life. That being said, there will still be DIYers out there working on their natural nails, so hopefully you'll appreciate this safer way to benefit from stamping gels while reducing the risks of skin contact with uncured product. And if you did find it helpful or know someone else who can benefit, be sure to subscribe and share so that my videos can reach more viewers and help my channel grow. If you are a fan of stamping like myself, I have a great playlist on screen if you'd like to keep watching. Otherwise, as always, until next time, don't forget to love your nails. Bye!